Hello everyone, this is Carol from COXO. Today is our COXO fee public webinar. Uh, Let me check um, this one. Welcome to COXO fee public webinar. This is Carol from COXO Sales Department. Today we invite a professional from India, and he will do an excellent lecture for us. First, I want to introduce to all the dentists how to get the certificate. Okay, let me show. Here, step one, please follow and like COXO page. You can see here at the follow and the like as COXO page. Step 2, leave your comment and question below the live video here. If you leave any question or comment, we will pick up one lucky person to get the COXO gift. For this webinar, we will support two gifts. One gift is for the best question, who have listed their best question on the webinar. And the second one, we will pick up the lucky person who left the comment on the live video. And the step 3, end of the live show, we will share a form link to the comment below the live video. Please open the link and fill the form and separate to apply the certificate. About 3 steps down, in 5 days later, you will receive the PDF form certificate in your email. Okay, here is the sample of the certificate. Now let me introduce about COXO gift for today. Today, the COXO gift for the lucky person who leave the comment on the comment line, it will get the COXO new handpiece. This handpiece is carries detection handpiece with generator, so that is available for 2-hole and 4-hole. COXO had made their handpiece is more than 10 years. And this is the very new and very good idea to make the carry detectors in handpiece. So if any dentist want to win this gift, please don't forget to leave your comment on the live show. It's very important. And the second, when you listen to doctors, the professional lecture, you can leave the question on the comment. We will pick up the best question on the comment too. You also can win the COXO gift. Okay, about this step, you will get the COXO gift. Now I want to introduce our dealer in India. Our dealer cooperation with us is more than 10 years and we have very good cooperation. Let me call him. I saw he is close his. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Hello, Andy. It's your time now. Oh, hello, Andy. So Ramango company have very good cooperation with COXO. It's more than 10 years, I think. I'm not
More than 13
remembering.
years.
Okay. Okay. So now I will give you the time to introduce your company with COXO in India.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Aniruddha Kulkarni. I'm a managing director and CEO for Sarvamangal Healthcare Private Limited, and we are representing COXO in India exclusively for all sales and services. So here is some outlook. Sarvamangal COXO is our basically we are dealing with innovations, precision, and service. This is our motto. Sarvamangal is a brand. Sarvamangal is a vision. I'll say it is always good to all. We are proactive, innovative, entrepreneurial with integrity and dignity. Sarvamangal Group consists of Sarvamangal Healthcare Private Limited, Sarvamangal Enterprises, Acumen Services, which are dealing with all maintenance activities. Saramangal Healthcare Innovation Center, which we are R&D facility, and we are already having four international patents. And Dr. B.N. Kulkarni Charitable Trust, where we are actually donating a lot of our corporate sales activities for poor students. Now, our company is a very professional organization. We have board of directors. I'm reporting to the board of directors as managing director, and we have finance, marketing, dental materials, dental equipment, and R&D. We have a small plant in Nasik, and we are doing manufacturing also. Then, our vision is to be part of a strong dental community prepared for all future challenges. Our goal is to find new ways of offering something better than the best and providing our customer with the ultimate smile that lasts longer. To provide dental practitioners with the equipment that keeps them ahead with optimizing treatment workflow, creating a platform for modern techniques and patient communication, Sarvamangal will consistently work to meet and exceed the expectations of our customers. As far as COXO is concerned, Saramangal and COXO, we want to become a respectable dental alliance, and we had been together for long period. Here, the COXO sales network is in 158 plus countries, and Saramangal is representing them in India exclusively. Now, our cooperation is for last almost from 2007, and we are growing. We are providing all service best possible service backup also, as well as sales also, and we give try to give peace of mind with the usage of COXO equipment. Now, introducing certain products which we are mainly focusing in India. It's world's first. This is a patent which is held by Sarvamangal Healthcare Innovation Center, and now COXO is manufacturing it and marketing it in world over. This world's first CRCC is a root canal irrigation and simultaneous suction system. It is a continuous flushing. We are getting a continuous hypo flushing and suction. There are almost no hypo accidents can happen with this. It has got two types of taps: positive type and irrigation, positive suction and pressure, and negative pressure. It has got automatic heating and cleaning system with 50 degrees heated hypochlorite, which is freshly continuously supplied and sucked. You can use 1% hypochlorite instead of 5%, which reduces the toxicity for the patient also, and accident possibilities for the doctor. So this is a CRCC. The currently you can contact us with special offers on pre-booking. The lot of doctors already are using, and the next lot is expected to be start delivering from 20th of this month. Then Coxo is having a very big range of endomotors. They are world leaders in endomotors. Smart choices in endomotor plus apex locators. You can have C Smart Pilot or C Smart Mini AP, C Smart iPro. These are main three units which are very popular. Then we have apex locators, which is you can go to YouTube and find out a video by American dentists comparing C Root I Plus or Coxo apex locator with J Morita, and you get amazing results there. We are one of the pioneers in Asia to manufacture the curing light and caries detector. We have two units. One is orthodontic curing light, which is a very high power, DB686 Swift, and we have DB686 Nano, which is a curing light with inbuilt caries detector. Then we have electric motor. We are pioneers. People are asking me many times what is the difference between many other companies which are selling cheaper and cheaper quality products. See, all COXO motors are OEM Swiss motors, and they are very good with the quality. There are many products which are been there in India for longer period, and very well designed COXO 1:5 contra-angle handpiece, which is the heart of it. We have C Puma Master, which is a combination of combination of electric motor and also endomotor. Then we are also one of the biggest manufacturers in Asia for controlled memory NiTi file systems. So we have SC Pro and SC Pro 2018 for conventional or direct rotary systems. 3D obturation systems, you can get C-fill downpack and C-fill backfill. We are the first to develop it in China, and very popular in India now. We are also first to get the license for manufacturing implant motor. We are one of the pioneers in this. C seller had been in use in India from 2009 onwards, and we have two models right now: C seller Pro and C seller Plus. We have some other products which are caries detector, pain alginate mixers, and we are recently introduced C mirror, which is basically anti-fog mirror, and you can check that this is also with suction. So you can have an anti-fog mirror which is itself is sucking, so it is very easy for the dentist to use it. Also, we have endo activators, ultrasonic, ultra smart, which is ultrasonic activator with 38,000 hertz. We gave three different titanium tapes, and this is one of the best available in ultrasonics. As far as Saramangal is concerned, we also are patent holders and manufacturers of PATS Vario or Pro Agitator tip system, which comes with three different tips, and this is an air sonic system. So you get endo activator, which is ultrasonic, which can be used for medium and to high large diameter canals, and we have ultra air sonic also, which is safer machines for narrow canals and medium canals and large canals also. So we also have just recently introduced, Coxo has introduced this caries detector air rotor. So this makes your life very very simple. You can detect caries, and you can also remove that with air rotor very fast, very economically priced. Also, Saramangal Healthcare Innovation Center, we are very proud to be patent holders for Twindent and Twindent XL30. These are the polymer autoclavable pre-bent effortless irrigation needles. Both are double side vented irrigation tips. It can be autoclavable. Unlike others in the market, we are only third in the world to manufacture this. If you want to just attach with us, just a call, and that's all what you need to do. Saramangal Healthcare Private Limited is based at headquarters at Sangli, Maharashtra. We are available at sarvamangalcoxo@gmail.com or sarvamangal at hotmail.com. You can follow our Facebook page, Facebook /SHPL India. You can email, WhatsApp, or mobile phone. Always we are online. Any queries, we respond within 12 hours. We suggest the permanent solution within 24 hours. We have company trained engineers for precise post sale service. So this is about our company. Thank you, and we you can always avail all special discounts on all Coxo products as well as for service. You can contact Sarvamangal 9823048686. Thank you so much. Over to you, Carol.
Hello, thank you, Andy. Thanks for your
Thank you so much.
introduce your Saramango and in Indian. If any dentist want to buy Coso product, you can see there is a lot of Coso product in Indian. You can connect with our local dealer Saramango phone number, email, and WhatsApp. Okay, thanks for your time,
Thank
Andy.
you.
I
Thank
will
you.
invite a professional for the lecture. Thank you. Okay, I already say all, some of them he already leave their comment on the Facebook. Please leave your comment and win the Coastal gift is the carry detector handpiece. So you can say hello and where are you from? Something I saw some dentists say hello, I'm from Mexico. Something like that. You can write down where are you from and we can know you. Okay, now I want to introduce Dr. Seahart. Hello, Dr. Seahart. How are you? How are you? Nice to see you. This is our first time to cooperation. And today your topic is the tip for successful operation. Uh, Now I will give you the time. After your give up the lecture, mm, there is some comment with you, some question on the live show. So please answer that. Later I will show on the screen. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Now this time for you.
very good afternoon to one and all. Thank you, Carol, for introducing me to COXO. So, as we all know, and we as dental practitioners, we do endodontic therapy in our daily routine. And we know that each and every case in endodontics is very unique within it. Why? Because root canal treatment or the endodontic or the root canal anatomy is varied in each and every tooth as well as each and every case. So we should know how the anatomy is for individual teeth so that we can plan the treatment or the steps of the endodontic therapy accordingly, and we such that we can get a good outcome of the treatment done. So here, endodontic therapy mainly comprises of few steps, of which one of the step is obturation. So routinely we perform endodontic therapy, but sometimes we fail that and we think why this particular step or why this mishap or else why this thing is happening to me in this particular case, wherein I have done all the things very properly, all the steps I have followed, then also it is happening to me. So there, thinking about all this, all the things, whatever I am sharing has happened to me as well. So I have learned from mistakes. So these are the some of the few of the tips which I would like to give, and everybody else is also welcome to like share if they have something else. So according to the Cliff Riddle, he says that endodontic therapy is a triad which includes uh, shaping the canals, and just a second. Shaping the canals three-dimensionally, as well as three-dimensional cleaning and shaping what we see, and lastly to obturate the canals three-dimensionally. So, where is the definition of obturation, which is given in the glossary of endodontic terms, wherein it says that if we chemically and mechanically clean the root canal system adequately, it will promote healing and repair of periradicular tissues. Conjunctly, we also have to use root canal sealer and a semi-solid or a solid obturating material so as to achieve adequate seal. Why this seal is important? Because there are many portals of entry and exit to the root canal system. Like what we can say that the root canal orifices, the lateral canals, the mm, accessory canals, or the periodontium, all these are connected to the root canal system. So if we seal the root canal system three-dimensionally, we can get a good successful outcome of the endodontic therapy. Why it is important? As I've already said, it will help in prevention of microorganism to the entry in the root canal system, which will further proliferate by passing into the periapical tissues. Further, it should also prevent percolation of periapical exudate and possibly the microorganism into the pulpal space. So, what is the main function of obturation? It should eliminate all portals of entry and exit so that it will help in achieving the success of endodontic therapy. So, coming on to the tips, I'm not going to go in details or the basic steps which we already follow while obturation. So, I'm not going to go in detail about it. So I'm just going to tell you what all things, if we follow that, we will achieve successful outcome of endodontic therapy. The first and foremost important tip is isolation of operating field. So what do you mean by isolation? Isolation is separation of that particular tooth, we can say, from the rest other teeth, whichever we are treating. If we isolate that by using rubber dam, we will achieve success in endodontic therapy. Why isolation is important? Such that it will not allow the microorganism from the oral cavity to enter inside the root canal system. So this can be done by using a rubber dam. The rubber dam, as we all know, was introduced way back in the year 1864 by S.C. Burnham. So we all know what all things and how are the different steps of rubber dam applications as well. So if we use rubber dam, there is obviously the other microorganism entry will be restricted, and it will not, like other microorganism from the oral flora will not enter the root canal system, and there will be good, or else what we can say, cleaning and shaping will be done thoroughly, and we will achieve a successful outcome. There is a beautiful study by Zaran et al. Which is recently published in International Endodontic Journal, wherein they have said that if we follow the enhanced infection protocol by replacing rubber dam, gloves, files, instruments, there is the success of the means the outcome of the endodontic therapy will be good, and that particular tooth will survive for a longer duration of time. Step 2 is about the shaping and cleaning of the root canal system. If we shape properly, it will help in facilitating the cleaning of root canal system. Means the irrigating solution, if we shape the coronal portion properly, so the irrigating solution, like different kinds of irrigating solutions are also there, it will reach into the periapical region, and it will facilitate healing of the periapical tissues. So directly we are not, should not directly go and jump onto the rotary instrument. Always we should first start with the hand files, and first instrument, whichever, if that again, first instrument which one should be introduced in the root canal system is always a K file, and which is an hand instrument. So with this, we will get to know what is the glide path and how, what is the patency file of that particular, particular root canal system. With the glide path, we will get to know the anatomy of the canal system, and this will further facilitate the cleaning of root canal system. In the market, we get a wide range of root files or the rotary instruments in the market. Whichever file system suits best to you, you can use that, because it is not the root file system which you can say will help in the success of the endodontic therapy. It is how you clean and shape the root canal system will determine the success of endodontic therapy. So this rotary file are used mainly with the endomotors, as we all know, and there are different kinds of endomotor also available. With the COXO, there is this C pilot system which has an inbuilt apex locator in it, so we can use that as well. And the rotary files are also good. I have used in few of cases, and it has a good outcome. Now, what are the different cleaning solutions and the devices which we can use? The irrigating solutions, as we all know, are the sodium hypochlorite, normal saline, chlorhexidine, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, and there are various activating devices as well. So, you can use any kind of ultrasonic activator or a sonic activator for achieving the three-dimensional cleaning of root canal system. So COXO has an ultra smart. Okay, recently they have introduced new irrigating devices, that is, which is known as COXO Ultra Smart AI. AI stands for artificial intelligence, and like there are three different tips and three different modes of. In the recent one, that is AI, has three different tips and three different modes, which will help in facilitating of irrigation instrument retrieval. If there is any blockages in the canal, it will help in removal of that as well. So this is the ultrasmart, the basic one, which have been used for irrigation of root canal system, or else activation of irrigating solution in the root canal system. So one of the important tip over here, whenever you are using any kind of activating device, never stop at one portion, okay, or at one place. Always your handpiece, whichever activating device you are using, always it should be kept on moving. If you stop at particular place, there might be chances of creating a mishap, like a ledge, or else like suppression, or else like production of heat at that particular portion itself. So always your handpiece or the tip should be moving inside the root canal system. Secondly, you should always keep on changing the, or as refreshing the solution inside the root canal system, because whenever we clean, what we see that the canal system, after activating the irrigating solution inside the root canal, it becomes turbid. Okay, means like your cleaning process is going on. So you should always refresh the irrigating solution inside the root canal system once it has been activation has been done. This will facilitate more cleaning and help in achieving the success in the root canal endodontic therapy. Next tip is about choosing the master cone. It is considered as an important step. So as we all know, there are two forms of Gatapacha, that is alpha form and beta form. So the beta form of Gatapacha is available mainly in the cone form. The cone or the GP cone, what we normally call as, is the beta form of Gatapacha, and the pellet form, which we use mainly in the gun, that is in the thermoplasticized obturation technique, the gun. So in that particular place, we use alpha form of Gatapacha, which is more plasticized as compared to your beta form. Since these cones are again available in conventional, that is a different nomenclature, and the standardized one, what we normally known and what we normally call as 2%, 4%, and 6% of Catapacha cones. So whenever you are choosing what is the primary cone or the master apical cone, the selection of this master apical cone is very much important. So what will be your master apical cone? Always it should be corresponding to the master apical size or the master apical file, whichever you are used. If your master apical file is 3004, then your master apical cone will be 3004. If your master apical file is 2006, then it is the master apical cone will be your 2006. Okay. So this is how you will determine what is your master apical cone. Next, most important point over here is to get the tug back of the master apical cone in the root canal system whenever you are inserting in the root canal system. So how will you check whether there is a tug back or not? So as soon as you place the master apical cone inside the root canal system, and when you remove it, you should get a resistance for the removal. Means that resistance is known as tug back. So this is how, if you get that resistance, okay, the resistance and that particular length, working length, whichever you have got in the apex locator, if you follow all this and if you are getting your tuck back at that particular length, then that is your master apical cone, and you should shift on to your next step. But what if the cone does not fit snugly, or else if you don't get the tuck back of the master apical cone? Then you should either shift on to the different size of cone, okay, or else you can adapt the same cone by cutting the apical tip. Okay, so this can either be done by that means the tip size can be increased, or the MAF can be increased by either by cutting the Gatapacha cone apical 1 or 2 mm with the help of scalpel blade, or else we get recent means we have this uh, GP gauge as well, which is precise in like the apical diameter of the cone. Means like the diameter of the cone will be precise. If we want 35, just put the Gatapacha cone in the 35 number point, and you will get a master apical size as your 35. But this is how we, if we cut with the scalpel or with the GP gauge, you should never use a scissor for like cutting the Gatapacha cone. Why? Because it creates flanges on the cone when we use scissor for Gatapacha to cut the Gatapacha cone. Whereas, and this will again, like you will not get the apical fit of cone in the root canal system. Whereas, if you use a GP gauge or else a scalpel blade, you will get a plain surface at the tip of your Gatapacha cone. There is a small video which demonstrates like how we can cut. This is a 30 size 3004 Gatapacha cone. Okay. So as if it is not fitting properly, or else if you are not getting the stank fit, or else if it is going beyond the working length, you can just increase the size by 35, and like you can squeeze it. Okay, this is the button, you can just press it and it will create a flat planar surface on the Gatapacha cone, and this you can use as your master cone. See, this helps in like achieving the greater in a greater accuracy. If you have the other type of GP gauge as well, you can use any of it, all will give you a good result. What if clinically the master cone is not reaching till the working length? What do you mean by that? Either the debris are packed inside the root canal system, or else if the wrong cone is chosen, or else the shaping has not been done properly. So with any of it, you have to just irrigate the root canal system, uh, clean and shape the root canal system again. This will facilitate the master cone till the working length. Tip number 4 is like always take master cone radiograph. Most of us don't take master cone radiograph and we directly obturate. But there is a very good study recently published in DCNA, that is Dental Clinics of North America, which is like written by the Setzer, wherein they say that periapical radiographs are the integral part of endodontic therapy. And you should always take radiograph in two different angulation. One is in the straight and the second one is like you have to follow the slope route. This will facilitate if there is any uh, variation in the anatomy of the root canal system. So what if in this radiograph we can see that the master cone is short of working length? This is done by in my case as well only, and this is a textbook image wherein you can see that there is a master cone is again short of working length. So the reason for both of it are different. Okay, so over here there is debris which are clogged in the apical third of the root canal system, and over here the cone is too tapered. So with both the things, means like if you have to correct it and then only go ahead for obturation. So how will you do? So select the cone always you should select the cone corresponding to the master apical file. Either it be in the percentage, that is the taper which the file has, that is 0 point means oh 04 or oh 06, that is 6%, 4 or 4%. And secondly, you should meticulously irrigate the root canal system such that the root canal system is completely clean, or else there is no lodgement of debris in the root canal system, and mainly in the apical third. Mainly it happens when we like don't irrigate after each file, whichever file we are changing. So subsequent, whenever as soon as we change the file, whichever file we are using, even if we are using a hand file and then moving on to a rotary system, so in between both of them you have to irrigate the root canal system adequately so that the uh, remnants from root canal system will flush off. The second thing, the other one, other which is most commonly faced issue while doing the endodontic therapy or the process of the obturation is what we see that the gutta is crimped inside the root canal system, or mainly in the apical third of the root canal system. So whenever we take out this kind of gutta, what we see that there is a waviness, or you can see that the apical end of the gutta is in a zigzag shape. So the reason for this are loss of working length, okay, inadequately cleaning and shaping, debris lodged in the apical third and master cone, not tapered enough. So again, in this case, you have to re-establish working length with the help of the apex locator and confirm by taking radiograph. Then you have to irrigate again and again do cleaning and shaping properly with followed by in each and every step you should, it's not like you should not directly shape and never introduce any of the rotary file system in a dry canal. Always it should be a wet canal, means there should be a irrigating solution inside the root canal system before like you are inserting your rotary pipe or else even the hand instrument. Never ever place any kind of instrument inside the root canal system whenever it is in a dry condition. So re-establish the working length, do adequate irrigation. We have to gauge the apical third, and whatever size of the taper like you are preferring, then you can use that and choose the master apical cone corresponding to your master apical file. Now, this is most importantly, it's like most commonly seen in many of our cases. Mainly, this the condition what I will be sharing is like seen mostly commonly in mandibular molars as well as in the maxillary mesiobuccal root. This is what is it? It is like one of the both the canals, that is when you consider mandibular first molar, the mesiobuccal and the mesiolingual canals are joining in the apical or else in the middle third. So what should be done in this particular case? So Whenever you are facing such kind of issue, this is mainly we can diagnose this, or else we get to know whenever we are taking working length, or else whenever you are taking a master cone radiograph. So if you diagnose this, clean the root canal system properly, put one master cone, okay, one like that is mainly the mesiolingual canal master cone should be reaching till the apical third of the root canal system, means the it should be like 0.5 mm short of working length, okay, and you have to consider this as the main cone, and the accessory cone, that is the mesiobuccal canal cone, you can cut till your wherever it is joining, either be it in the apical third or else in the middle third. What if we insert the same cone over here? If we insert without cutting, there will be again crimping at the apical third in the mesiobuccal canal, which we will see in the radiograph after post obturation. So as to prevent this, what we can do, first mesiobuccal canal, whichever is going till the working length, means mesiolingual canal, it should reach till the working length, and followed by that we have to insert the cone in the mesiobuccal canal, which is like which we can cut in the from the apical thread. So how we can cut this? As we have to mark or give a marking over here, so of a working length, okay, and then whatever measurement we think that it is in joining, like we can insert a file, okay, after we first place a cone in the mesiolingual canal, then place a file over in the mesiolingual canal and measure the length wherever it is joining. So this particular length we can mark from the mark till the apical end, and we can cut it from here, and this particular GP we can place it over here. This will help in, like in this condition we can avoid crimping of the gatapacha in the apical third. The similar thing can be done in the maxillary first molar, wherein in the mesiobuccal root, wherein the MB2 is most commonly joined with the MB1. Now coming to the tip number 5, that is about the sealers. Okay, in there are wide variety of sealers present in the market, of which most commonly used are resin based, calcium hydroxide based, and the bioceramic sealers. Okay, so most commonly used nowadays, what we see is that bioceramic is into a trend, and everybody is trying to use bioceramic sealer. And though it is like it is very nice, and many studies have stated that it has good antimicrobial properties, and like there it is like hydrophilic, because of the hydrophilic characteristics, it adapts well in the root canal system. So whenever whichever sealer you are using, it is like toxic in the freshly mixed state, and the toxicity reduces after setting. So there is a good review about endodontic sealer recently published by Kumabayashi in Dental Material Journal, which suggests that tricalcium silicate sealers exhibit a favorable antimicrobial effect, and also has an excellent biocompatibility. Over here, there is one more thing which we can see, that whatever I have experienced is that whenever I'm using resin-based sealer, the patient is having pain post-obturation and for a day or two. But this is not the condition when it is when we use bioceramic sealers. Patient does not experience any kind of pain, and he is happy with the endodontic therapy done. Secondly, one more thing, what we see with the when whatever sealer we are using is that there is extrusion of sealer in the apical third of the root canal system. Again, there are two schools of thought. Some says that if there is if we get an apical button, it will seal the canal system three-dimensionally from the apical end as well. The other school of thought says that the sealer should not extrude in the apical third, and because there will be having post-operative pain. So, like these are two schools of thought, and it depends upon the operator which school of thought he or she believes in. Now, coming to the tip number 6. So, ideally, what we can say that there should be like no extrusion of sealer, but it should again seal the root canal system three-dimensionally from the apical end as well, like in the cases of apical delta. Now, choosing of the technique, many articles and many textbooks says that no particular technique is superior over the other, and none can claim that there is a superior healing success in any of the technique. It totally depends upon the operator in which technique he or she has mastered in. So there is a very good article by Darcy et al. Wherein different kinds of obturation technique, wherein pros and cons have been mentioned. So most common about amongst this are like single point obturation system, then the collateral compaction technique and the vertical compaction technique. And the single cone obturation technique is considered as the very is like what you can say very easiest technique for obturation. But the most important disadvantage over here is that there is a highest amount of leakage, okay, because most of the portion in the obturation is taken up by the sealer rather than the gutta percha. And the sealer over here, where which is the in the maximum portion, there are voids in the sealer, and with duration, it has been stated in articles that with time there is degradation or the void formation increases. Still, like many of this, more studies are to be taken up, but there are voids in the sealer. So this is again a recent article by Zare et al. In the RDE, that is restorative dentistry and endodontics, wherein three sealers have been used, and they have found that even in AH plus bioceramic sealer and uh, endo there one more like practical like PRP, that is pre-reacted glass ionomer sealer they have used, and they have found that in all the sealers there is void between the interface, that is between the root canal wall and the sealer, as well as between the sealer and the gutta percha. So this technique, that is the collateral compaction technique, this technique is like everyone practices this technique in his or her dental practice, and most of them use this technique, and everyone knows about this technique as well. So I'm not going to describe the technique how it is done, but the most important thing is like we can seal the canal three dimensionally mostly, but the thing is that your spreader should reach 1 short of the working length. Okay. And what the most important, like each and every dentist faces, is that as soon as we place the spreader and when we remove it, that spreader comes out with the master apical cone. So why does this happen? This is because like we are not giving time for the space to happen, and secondly we are inadvertently removing the spreader. So how can we prevent this? This can be done by first we have to place the spreader in whatever whichever type of spreader we are using, even it be a hand spreader or as a finger spreader, whichever spreader we are using, make sure that your spreader is reaching 1 short of your working length. Okay. And wait for a minute, allow it to settle. Okay. And then just give a 180-degree arc so as that your instrument is loosened enough from the root canal system, and then you can remove. This will not like dislodge, or else this will not this will if you follow this technique, the master apical cone whichever you have inserted, it will not come out with the spreader. So subsequently, whatever which spreader you have used, you have to insert a corresponding accessory cone in that space, and again use the spreader, and likewise you have to complete your obturation. For vertical compaction technique, mainly we use alpha form, that is gutta percha pellets, wherein we use this um, gun and an obturation pen for complete obturation. That is, we achieve three-dimensional seal with this particular obturation technique. So herein, we have to insert these pellets inside the gun, and we have to reach that particular gun at a certain amount of temperature, such that we are able to squeeze the gutta percha in a plasticized form. So the next technique over here is squirt obturation. This was given way back in 1977 by E et al., wherein you have to just after cleaning and shaping, you have to just inject slight amount of plasticized gutta percha in the root canal system, and with the help of plugger, such that the plugger goes till the working length, we have to pack that gutta percha inside in the apical third of root canal system, and the rest we can be backfill. So which technique is good? We have known we have we have many techniques of obturation. So which technique is good is again depends upon the operator, whichever skill whichever skill technique he has mastered in can be used for obturation. There's a good article by Bundy et al. In a material journal wherein they have said that thermoplasticized gutta technique has shown a better outcome despite of the possible learning bias with the in the favor of cold lateral compaction technique. So again, this article also says that again it depends upon the operator's skills, which will help to achieve particular type of obturation. Now, tip number 7 is obturating material in some of the cases. Like MTA has been considered as and have a very good antimicrobial effect as well as it is a very biocompatible material. So, MTA has been used as an obturating material for the apical third of root canal system. So, this is a case which has been given by Bogan et al. In Journal of Endodontics in the year 2009, wherein there is a non-healing periapical lesion, and they have been shaped and done obturation by using MTA, wherein 3 to 5 mm of apical plug of MTA has been obtained, and a surgical, that is root resection of this particular tooth has been done so as to achieve a predictable outcome of endodontic therapy. This is another case wherein a MTA has been used in the case of open apices, and there was closure of the apex in the closure of apex of premolar, wherein osseous repair and apical closure has been seen. There is a different technique for MTA obturation which has been described in this particular paper, which is known as Lavati technique, wherein MTA is mixed in a dappen dish and transferred to the pulpal floor via a glick instrument. So, what is this glick instrument? It has cement carrier like flat surface at one end, and the other end has an plugger kind of extension at the other end. So this plugger can be used for transferring the MTA from the pulp chamber to the orifice or the root canal system. So it is placed, the MTA is placed on the excess cavity, and then we have to just plug the MTA inside the root canal system, and by using an K file, we have to circumferentially go along the glide path and in an apical pumping motion such that the MTA reaches the apical third. The next tip is always dry the canal before obturation. So for drying, you should never ever use the three-way syringe which is available readily available with the chair. Okay, so you have to like first uh, remove excess of water from or else the irrigating solution from the root canal system by using an empty syringe, or else the root canal aspirators. If you have intercanal aspirators, you can use them so as to remove the excess of irrigating solution that is normal saline from the root canal system, and after which you can use your absorbent paper points in the root canal system so as to dry the root canal system. So as soon as whenever you are drying the root canal system, the first paper point, whichever you place, it will be completely moistened enough till the working length. So the to which so this is not only one paper point will not be enough for complete drying of the root canal system. So second point, after you have to use one more point which will like ensure it should be completely dry. If it is completely dry, if that particular paper point is completely dry, so this means that your root canal system is now completely free from moisture or as any irrigating solution inside the root canal system. So again, which paper point which you should use? This is again most important question. Which like we use any whichever is available. We use that paper point. But the ideal paper point which should be used during drying of the root canal system is should correspond to the master apical file. If you are using a 3004 or 3006, the paper point should also be a 3004 or 3006. So it depends, it should correspond the master apical file. So if this is one condition wherein you just is like you don't get any, like if there's paper point is just wet with the root canal irrigating solution, but what if we get a red spot at the tip of the paper point? It means that either you have your working length, you have not taken proper working length, your um, cleaning and shaping instruments have been going beyond the working length and in the periapical region, or else there can again be a your gutta means like if your paper point whichever you have chosen is not appropriate and it is not corresponding to your master apical file. So in that particular condition, if you are getting a red spot on the tip of the paper point, then you should irrigate the root canal system with normal saline, wait for 3 to 5 minutes, then remove the excess irrigating solution from root canal system and then dry with the corresponding paper point. Always again the same thing that you have first paper point, first remove excess of irrigating solution from the root canal system by using intracanal suction tip or as an empty syringe, whichever is readily available, and then you can shift on to your paper point. So first paper point should be on your corresponding to the master apical file, and if it is completely wet, use the second one. If the second one is wet till the half of the working length, then use the third one. So until and unless you get a dry paper point, never shift on to the next step, that is obturation or application of sealer. So the drying of root canal system is considered as an important step of obturation because it will facilitate the bonding of sealer to the root canal system as well as to the gutta. The tip number 9 is for after obturation, we never take radiograph. So always we should take a radiograph after obturation of after completion of obturation. And what you should see in that radiograph is that there should be an homogeneous radiopaque appearance, which should be free of voids and importantly filled till the working length, and the field should of the canal walls should also extend if it is in C-shaped root canal system, which is again a most difficult root canal system to obturate, what you can say. So C-shaped root canal system, so it should always fill the canal irregularities like isthmus and river shaped root canal system. So how to means like if even if you have followed everything and when you take a post obturation radiograph you see underfill or overfill, then what to do? What has happened? What wrong? Which step has gone wrong? So this like you are able to see like you are seeing underfill or overfill. This means that your working length is not proper, or else you have inadvertently you have compress the gutta percha, like when you do with the plugger, the last step when you sear off the gutta percha and you plug it, that time you might have inadvertently forced the gutta percha inside the root canal system. Means again your master apical cone whichever you have chosen is not proper, as in because of which it is very much required that the master apical cone should have a proper tuck back. This, if you get a proper tuck back, then the master apical cone will not exceed beyond the working length. There is a paper by Schaefer wherein which suggests that many of us say that by looking at the radiograph that the obturation is short. Okay, so if it is short by 0.5 to 1 mm of the in the radiograph, or else in the working length is short by 0.5 to 1 mm, then the success of endodontic therapy is like better as compared to when it is 1 to 3 mm of short at, or as at least at, or as at the apex. So always the obturation should be 0.5 to 1 mm short or as 0 to 1 mm short of the apex. So clinically, if you are keeping the working length or else your master apical cone is short of your apex, that is 0 to 1 mm short of the apex or 0.5 to 1 mm short of the apex, then the success of root canal therapy increases. If it is extrudes or else if the extrudes, if the root canal filling or else the obturating material extrudes beyond your apex, then the the success rate of the endodontic therapy decreases. The last is overall seal, which hardly I think many few people like think about it and like um, give focus on it, but this is considered as very important. The overall seal, that after obturation you should always seal the root canal orifices so as to prevent micro leakage. Secondly, why it is important, like to restoration of form, function, and occlusal stability, and to acquire adequate contact point. You should restore that particular tooth with, in function and protection against caries and fracture. It should further help in maintenance of marginal periodontal tissues. And lastly, and you should have an optimal aesthetics even if it is in a posterior tooth. So there is a beautiful review by Bova et al., which has been published in International Endodontic Journal, wherein it says that the tooth should be always be filled by a particular kind of restorative material so as to achieve a greater success of endodontic therapy. So, if they have suggested that if the residual tooth volume is less than 30%, then the endodontic failure is at a higher risk. If the tooth whichever we are treating, that having two or more walls, then the success rate is more as compared to the teeth having one or less residual wall, and the probability of long-term tooth survival is highest for the teeth with two proximal contact and lowest for no proximal contact. So these are few of the what you can say post endodontic restorations which have been discussed in this particular paper, and I would like to, because this is very much interesting. First is partial coverage crown, where after endodontic therapy you should always think about the post endodontic restoration. If any of the tooth wall is missing, then you should consider it as for the partial coverage or full coverage of uh, full coverage restoration. So this is amalgam overlay. As in this particular case, we can see that all four walls are intact. So this particular case have just been restored with the composite resin. Means the post-endodontic restoration over here is just the composite resin, which will act as it has given all forms and function. All the cusp are restored and everything is like restored in this particular case. And the other which is the Nayarko technique, which is like was followed prior, wherein this you just have to remove 1 mm of GP from the coronal orifices, and you have to pack it with the amalgam, which act as a core material in the root canal system. The next is metaceramic crown placement. Your margins should be good enough, and you can restore the tooth with the metaceramic crown. If the tooth is like if the tooth is indicated for post endodontic or the post and core treatment, mainly in the anterior teeth, so post and core should be placed, and which can be restored by using the different types of crowns. The other one more post endodontic restorative treatment option is all ceramic crown, wherein we can place prepare the tooth accordingly, which preparing the margin supragingival, and we can place the crown. The treatment option wherein all the the height of the tooth is like not appropriate, or else if you don't want to like cut too much of tooth structure, then we can think about endocrown, wherein the coronal coverage restoration will move into the excess cavity and will help the tooth to restore in the function. So concluding, you must like know about the 10 tips or for obturation. First, isolation is very much important. You should adequately clean and shape the root canal system. Always reconfirm the working length and ensure that your master cone is reaching till the working length. And then next is your master cone radiograph. And there should be, for taking the master cone radiograph, you should check whether it is like going till the working length and whether it is crimping or else it is short of your working length. Dry the canals before obturation. Use sealer and obturation technique which which you know the best. And if even if you want to like use any other type of technique of obturation, you can practice it on the models and then you can perform the procedure. Use MTA as an obturating material in the apical third so as to achieve the predictable outcome, so as to achieve good healing of the periapical tissues, and assess the case after obturation so that whether there are, whether the endodontic therapy which has been done is done properly or not, and seal the canals after obturation. So these are the 10 steps which you can follow for obturation. I think with like if you follow all these steps and if each and every step is done carefully, we can like then complete the obturation step in no time, and like we can achieve a good success for endodontic therapy. These are my references, and thank you, Foxo, for giving me an opportunity for sharing these tips for obturation, and it might like be helpful for others as well. These are my experiences. Over to you, Carol. Carol, yeah,
Oh, hello,
yeah.
can you hear me, doctor? Yeah. Many thanks for Dr. Very excellent lecture.
Thank you.
Now I will put some question on the Facebook. I saw there is a lot of the question on the Facebook. Now we post on the screen, and doctor, please uh, pick up some question to answer it. I if you cannot pick up the best question at this moment, you can throw up after this webinar because there is a lot of question during the webinar.
Okay.
Okay, you can see the question. If
Yeah.
you can,
So just a second.
okay.
So if both the root shows apical external resorption, how do we seal apical in order to save the tooth? When do we use bioceramic sealer and when do we use uh, empty? So mostly, I think whenever there is an external root resorption, the most ideal we should use MTA as an apical in the apical 5 of structure, because it will help in like it has, because MTA has been considered as having a good antimicrobial effect, and it will help in healing of the periapical region as well. So for this, I have mentioned a Lavati technique, which has been given in a very good paper, wherein obturation, different kinds of treatment of empty apexification has been given. So we can use this Lavati technique for using this like in cases of external root resorption in molars mainly. So in bioceramic sealer, because there are very less studies currently, there are again the research is going on bioceramic sealer. So it will be better if we use MTA in such cases. So next question: why it is observed that underfilled case are more better compared to overfilled teeth over a period of time? So mainly this is again a question, because like many a times what we see like even though like the root canal system is not properly filled, patient does not experience any kind of pain, or if there is no periapical lesion. Mostly this can happen because even if the root canal system is not filled properly, the cleaning and shaping, or as the irrigation protocol which we use, or which the particular dentist has been using or has used, must be very nicely done, so because of which there is no periapical lesion. This can be one of the cause, as there is no periapical lesion even if it is underfilled. So next, what is the optimum time for irrigation of the canal? So optimum time is like it's like per canal you should use around like 5 to 10 ml of irrigating solutions, that is mainly the concentrated hypo. What many of us, what we do, we dilute the hypochlorite and then irrigate the root canal system, which is, I think, if we use a concentrated sodium hypochlorite solution, it will help in cleaning the root canal system more properly or else three-dimensionally. And so, what is your take on heating of the hypo intracanals? There are many studies which suggest that heating of the hypochlorite solution inside the root canal system, it will facilitate more cleaning. And I'm also doing that in routine practice. And if you are like using following protocols of like isolation, and you are doing it properly, then I think heating hypochlorite solution inside the root canal system will help in achieving three-dimensional cleaning of root canal system. Which is the best sealer to use ideally? There is like it again depends upon the operator. I have already said that it depends upon the operator. If whichever sealer suits, like whichever sealer has good antimicrobial effect, can be used. So it can be an AH plus, though it is a resin sealer, you can use that, or else you can go ahead with bioceramic sealer or calcium hydroxide sealer. So if we categorize it, the resin-based sealer, the calcium hydroxide-based sealer, and the bioceramic sealer can be used for um, obturation. Next. Is that right to obturate the canal by MTA in wet canal when we don't have dry after many sessions? So in such particular case, what we can do is like we um, first we can, in the same appointment only, we can just irrigate the canal properly. Mainly if we place empty in a wet canal, means like if there is any periapical exuded, or else if there is continuous discharge from the periapical region. If it is soaked, then there is no point in placement of empty. That is the reason what we do is that that particular MTA, if we place it in the apical region, the periapical surgery should also be done in after initial set of MT.
Okay, Dr. Sihar, this is all the questions we pick up from the comment. Uh, I think after we finish this webinar, there have some dentists, they will see the record. So after we finish this webinar, please focus on our website and to answer the dentist leave on the comment. And maybe tomorrow you can tell us who is the best question, because I think there is kind different, and other dentists they will see about our record on the website. So please leave your answer on our common live comment. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay. Thanks for your time. Later tomorrow, and you tell us who is the best question.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Foxo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you so much for your excellent lecture. Okay. It's your time for rest. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Okay, dentist, because the technical problem, we cannot make the lucky person during this webinar. So tomorrow we will have the online video to pick up the lucky person. So please follow our COXO Facebook page, and maybe you will be the lucky person. If any dentist they are watch our record on the COSO page, you can leave your question on the comment too. Dr. Sihar, she will reply your question on the comment. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for your watching. COSO is continue making the free public webinar. So please follow our page and to know more any update new of COSO. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your time. Bye bye. See you next time. Bye.